ඉතින් හැමදෙනාටම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා සුබම සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් වෙන්න කියලා සූදානම් ආරම්භ කරන්න. අපි good volunteer segment එක හැබැයි මේ good volunteer වුණාට volunteer කියන්න බෑ. අපි මේ segment එකට ගෙන්න ගන්නවා. අපි මේ මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ නරඹන්න ඇවිත් ඉන්න ඒ වගේම මේ සෙන්සුරාදා දිනේදී අපිත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න ආපු අය මේ හැමදෙනාම කුශල් ගුණසේකර මහත්මයා මේ segment එකට එකතු කර ගන්නවා. හැබැයි අද සුවිශේෂී චරිතයක් ඇවිත් ඉන්නේ. මොකද ඇය මේ ශේෂ්ත්‍රයට ආධුනිකයෙක් නෙමෙයි, මේ ශේෂ්ත්‍රයේ ප්‍රවීණතාවයක් උසලන කෙනෙක්. ඇයත් නිවේදිකාවක්, ප්‍රසන්ටර් කෙනෙක් විදිහට අපිට හඳුන්වන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් අපි බලමු ඇයත් එක්ක තවත් ආදරණීය චරිතයක් අද මැදිරියට ඇවිත් ඉන්න. ඒ වගේම මේ දෙපළම කැටුව අද දවසේදී හැමදාමත් ඔබ හමුවට එන මේ සෙග්මන්ට් එකත් එක්ක ඔබත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන කුශල් ගුණසේකර මහත්මයා මැදිරියට ඇවිත් ඉන්නවා. සෙග්මන්ට් එක ආරම්භ කරන්න. හොඳයි, මමත් කවිදුත් අද එකතු වෙලා ඉන්නවා සෙග්මන්ට් එක ඉදිරියට අරගෙන යන්න. මුලින්ම ඊටම ගෞරවයෙන් මැදිරියට පිළිගන්න ආයුබෝවන් කියලා කුශල් ගුණසේකර මහත්මයා.
ආයුබෝවන් සත්‍ය ආශිර්වාදය.
ඔබට එසේම වේවා. එසේනම් ඔබතුමාට ඔන්න පුළුවන් කවුද මේ ඇවිත් ඉන්න ප්‍රවීණයන් දෙපළ සහ මොවුන් සමග මෙතෙන් පටන් තොඩමළුවන්නට සූදානම් ආරම්භ කරන්න good volunteer segment එක.
Thanks, Vishmi. It's a very special day today. It's actually Friday, the 7th of June, and we've had some amazing visitors to the Foundation of Goodness flagship venue, the Center of Excellence in Sinigama. And just to give you a little bit of background, I think they are from Soha retreats, and I remember this goes back to the days where Sir Ian Botham got involved with our project Foundation of Goodness, and what he's done remains truly as a legacy. He started to, engage with the foundation just about probably a month after the tsunami. He was the one who was responsible for introducing the Laureate Sport for Good Foundation. But he didn't stop there. He also, knowing, the legendary, not only as a cricketer but as also a human person, to walk miles and miles everywhere for being knighted. As Ian Botham, he took this challenge and to walk from the north to the south and from Kilinochchi to Sinigama. And he walked 240 kilometers, and that was truly amazing. And it was all coordinated by his very cheerful, amiable, very amicable lady, Sarah Botham. And so this one thing led to another, and there have been so many partnerships and collaborations built over a period of time with the Foundation of Goodness, and truly blessed to have that kind of backing from him. In numerous ways. And so to cut a long story short, today, Sarah and Manuel, who does the Soha retreats, have brought a group who's really amazing, because they sound humane. They like the project. I'm sure I'm just putting some words into their mouth, but sorry about that. But they will speak. But more importantly, when we were showing around, and when we came into the Good News radio segment, and then Jude put her hand up and said, I used to do this before. And then I thought immediately, I have to have her on the show, and also to learn, probably going forward, what we should be doing. Because Jude and Manuel, I think Good News radio, you don't really hear of. So we thought we'll just go the opposite direction and have something good. Anyway, the Foundation of Goodness does only more good work and positive outcomes, etc. So we thought we'll just have a radio of this kind to promote that and to make it contagious, so that people start doing good things and being good, doing good. And goodness, I know, is the one investment that never fails. So in that light, we have with us Jude and Manuel, who will speak to us about their experience coming here. And thank you for taking the time, even 20 minutes to, talk to us, because I'm sure there'll be YouTube listeners down the line of your thoughts, what we do at the Foundation of Goodness, how you came here. And, nothing multiplies so much as kindness thereafter. So thank you again for being here, and, over to you, please.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting us. I worked in radio for around 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And I think the difference with Good News Radio here is the fact that in the UK, what I reported on, what I talked about, was probably 50% not good news, So it's so wonderful to be here and to see all the goodness that you do. I mean, the goodness that you spread makes you feel good yourself, doesn't it, So thank you for showing us around. I came on a wellness retreat with Soha Retreats, just to have a bit of a break, really, from the hustle and bustle of life in the UK. It was all about wellness, goodness, kindness. Yeah. And I'm telling you, this is the absolute icing on the cake for me. This has really made the trip so special for me, to come here to see what you do, to see how you help, to see how you promote kindness and goodness. And it's seriously one of the best things I've ever done. I don't know about you.
I'll echo that. So today's my birthday. I'm 44 today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Many blessings, and
yes,
for you to be, succeeding and
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Greatly.
I just feel like it's just the start, especially when I've come here today. I know I've looked into the foundation, and we spoke for a while, and we really got on. For our passion is very similar, and today coming here has inspired me even more so than I've ever been inspired today. So just like you say, I was blown away, and I don't know it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else today but here. It's really opened my eyes as well, and I think there's a few moments today that shined for me, and it's where my core belief is. In the UK, you hear a phrase passed around, and it's you do good things and good things will happen to you. And for me, that's not why I do good things. The good thing is doing a good thing. The feeling, that's what you get. And anybody that truly are doing that with the intentions to do good things, understand you don't need anything back, because that is all the goodness that you'll ever get. And what you've done is echoed. It's just the kind of one man passes that, doing such a great thing that you've done, and echoing. And what we've seen today, walking around the classrooms and the ethos, the ecosystem that is being built here. Another really good thing that kind of stood out to me is the value to people to value themselves. So coming and doing all this amazing work and teaching and being able to have an opportunity to be able to be anything. And I think it's what I kind of do. I'm kind of no one special. We're all the same, but we all inspire, and everybody can just be as great in anything they put their mind to. And you've definitely shown that within the goodness within this place today. And I really, honestly, I'm truly speechless. It's really got to me. Thank you.
I think as well, you said to us early on in the tour that you teach values, morals, kindness, and pretty much everybody in our group has said while you were walking ahead, wouldn't that be good if that happened in the UK? Wouldn't that be good if that happened overseas? Wouldn't that be good if everybody started with that foundation? And I think, seeing the difference you make with kindness and morals at the helm of it all, I think that has to be a lesson globally, for people. And, I think we've all gone away from here as well thinking, okay, what can we do? Yeah. What can we do to help, And I'm sure Sarah Botham, my dear friend, is she here? Yeah. She will be on it, getting us... Did you mention a tuk-tuk race? Yeah. So, yes, I think we're all going to be on the case with that one. But just thank you for inspiring us, and anything we can do to help you, please just let us know. And
thank you.
And thank you for making us feel better as well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it does gladden my heart, you know, to have the kind of people of your stature visit the Foundation of Goodness and give us that kind of encouragement, motivation, and the inspiration for us to fuel our passion in keeping our, you know, light burning, so to say. So, and you know, all of you bring different value additions to our project, you know, so that's also something that I truly, you know, appreciate and is grateful for, because not everyone knows everything. So you get everyone collectively coming together so that, you know, it gets better and better. But I always believe, like the two of you said, that wherever there is kindness and goodness, humanity eventuates. And that's what I can see now that has happened. So I think it's going forward, I'm sure, you know, we will all link together and, you know, do something better and bigger as we move forward.
Can I mean, when I sat in here and I just had a minute to reflect about today and the things I've seen, and another thing that really stood out to me is like just being here, we're being a part of something great, amazing, like just what Ian did and Shane and all these amazing people after this tragedy, and seeing the stone, the engraved stone with the people that passed here all them years ago, and the goodnesses that's been brought from that to here. Such a tragic story, but like you said, to turn into to help so many people's lives, and that goes on and on. It's a future, it's forever. So I just feel like I'm honoured just to be here and sat here, and I feel so small, but in a good way, inspired to. My head is blown what I want to do, and how I want to kind of, you know, help and do things, even in the UK, you know, and here, and you've really you've opened my eyes to, which I didn't think it could be any more open, but thank you so much.
I think as well, you know, what you've given us is, and what you're giving everybody here, and you've shown us what it feels like to have hope, and I think, you know, without hope, you don't have very much, do you? But being here, seeing all the incredible things you do, and all the lives that you're changing, honestly, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I mean, I know Sarah has been here many times, so she's seen, you know, how we have grown over the years. But, you know, when the two of you and your group comes and speaks in this manner, as I said before, you know, we can only, you know, aspire to achieve, you know, a greater good for mankind. And it's because the rural disadvantaged communities in Sri Lanka don't have those opportunities, training, facilities, and the exposure, as I always say, and trying to bridge this gap between the urban and the rural sectors. And I think ours is more like a holistic rural community development model. So we basically are conscious about the environment, respect diversity, you know, we are very empathetic and, you know, striving for excellence, you know, so we do all those things. But, you know, like you said, it's always better to be better than I used to be is the theme, you know. That's how I work on every single day, you know. So and that's how probably we have got to where we are, with a lot of humility and, you know, dignity, that, you know, we try to do the best we can for those in desperate circumstances. So all of you coming here, I know we've had, you know, countless number of, you know, guests coming here, but they're all from different disciplines. So that's why when you said, you know, you have been in this trade of being broadcaster, so, you know, we immediately picked on that as well. And then Manuel has another story, and Sarah has one more other story. So it's very interesting, you know, because of the diverse fields. And, you know, even this Good News Radio was set up because this girl who introduced Vishmi, she was so, you know, really brilliant and very dynamic. You could have picked her up easily.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, her voice is amazing. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
The equipment actually is really good as well. They've got some great microphones here.
Yeah, and the way she presents it to our native audience is also something, like a professional at another.
Absolutely, yeah.
She just switched it to this presenter. Wow.
Yeah. So
she'd give a lot of the presenters in the UK a run for their money, that's for sure.
So we actually always try to get the visitors or especially the volunteers. We have something called the volunteer segment, and then we get the volunteers to present how they benefited, because it's also two ways. They increase their self-worth and the confidence, as well as the beneficiaries also learn so many different aspects from them and their exposure. So it's a win-win situation for everyone, and I know parents who have written to me saying that their children are more content now, are more grateful, and are mindful of the fact that there are others who are less fortunate than they are. And so
this radio show, it gets kind of you can hear it on YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah, so they can go into our website, log into the internet.
Because I was just going to say, how people listening to this, how can they help? How can they help the Goodness Foundation? Do you go to your website?
Yeah, my gosh, we've got a huge website, and if you Google Foundation of Goodness, so many pages come with what we have done over the years, so they can easily get into the Foundation of Goodness website and see all the work that is being exhibited and demonstrated, for 20 years now post-tsunami and 5 years before the tsunami. So I can only say that it has grown from strength to strength, but it's also putting a lot of pressure on me to keep the flame burning, alive, so to say. Yeah, because you got to raise funds. But I think what is very important in this is the word of mouth is very powerful.
Yes, exactly.
Word of mouth, yeah. So like how you were saying, just you would go and tell someone else.
Yes, exactly. One person telling one person spreads the word. It's like Sarah. She told me, she told Manuel.
Yeah, obviously that, and we need to thank Sarah.
Yeah,
we really do,
of course,
for everything that she does.
She's been always very supportive of us, and she's done numerous projects, as I said, on behalf of the father as well, the legendary Sayan Botham, and that also created a huge awareness and promotional initiative in the UK. So it's done not only in the UK but in the cricket playing nations. So many others also have got involved, and I have to say also about Shane Vaughan, and respect the fact that although he's no more, he was the first to get in here, and then he promoted us in Australia. So many have picked up, including the Victorian State Government, the AFL League, master builders, universities, top legendary cricketers like Steve Waugh, and all of them. So I think it's our Greg Chappell, comes to my mind now, and a lot of people have helped. So what we've done is to secure and channel those resources into greater productivity. And as we recall the tsunami, there was no hope, because it was happening for the first time that people were seeing that everything was the sea invading the land, and I thought, what is this, but I kept living in the present, enjoying the moment, doing the best I can, and never giving up. So
never giving up. That's a message. There's a few messages. I think we're very similar to our beliefs, and we picked up on hope. It's a big part of the program we deliver from my foundation in the UK. But never giving up. Whatever life throws at you, it's like the buffalo. You've got to go through the storm, and to the pastures and the sunshine. It can be tough, and kind of teaching that message as well. It's really important, and you're definitely the person that we need to kind of look up to show that. Definitely, really have.
I think as well, and just to reiterate, if there's anything we can do, to help, then we will do our best. I think amongst the group, everybody's feeling exactly the same. So it's foundationofgoodness.com, is it, to help? Yeah.
It's called the unconditionalcompassion.org. That's our website. Unconditionalcompassion.org.
Okay.
But when you Google the Foundation of Goodness, all that will, appear. Because this is the website I had 5 years prior to the tsunami, and I thought it was unique. And nowadays, if you have, like, let's say, whatever the name, you go with that name for your website. But I thought Unconditional Compassion sounded good to me, so I didn't want to change the Foundation of Goodness, website into another, Foundation of Goodness. So when you Google, anyway, you get to know. But I tell a lot of people that change is inevitable. Change is something you have to be prepared to embrace, and then it comes in sometimes, forms of disguise. It's a blessing. Some, people try to open the door which is already locked, but there are other doors that have got open and they're not looking at it. So that's kind of what happened with us. And the more I put a lot of effort, the more people were here, like the waves of compassion that also overpowered the waves of destruction, was very powerful. And so one thing led to another, and you kept going. So and also gifting is really powerful. As I said, I gifted my villa, and then I got 12 other properties in Sri Lanka to do these village heartbeat empowerment centers around the country. So thanks very much again, and really, and hands that help are filled with blessings. I know that for sure. And
I think the thing is, you're not just helping, but you're helping people to help themselves, which I think is the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's also the key, because a lot of people now have realized handouts are not going to be sustainable. Sustainable. So therefore, building capacity is, I think, what is needed. And hopefully, thanks very much for the partnership in some measure, or going forward in bigger measure.
Yeah, well, we tend to do many retreats over the next few years and bring many people, and I feel like everybody's it's going to be the icing on the cake. This trip, we'll leave it to the last for everybody to be humbled and probably give a lot back. So yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you, just on a personal note, from me, from all our guests, from our staff.
And I want to also take the opportunity to thank and extend my heartfelt gratitude. Because gratitude is the best attitude, and I think your country was so benevolent. United Kingdom was very benevolent once the tsunami struck. Not to say that others weren't, but you were there very quickly, and you came to do everything possible for us to resurrect ourselves. So were lots of other countries. But what I'm saying is the institutions we worked with originally happened to be a lot from the UK, and then to Australia, and then to the US, and then to Europe, and Singapore, and those are some of the countries, some of the areas that we work really very well. And so like you said, from one to another it keeps going, and they reach us to do the best we can. And I'm only trying to improve the quality of life and enrich humanity. And I know one thing: serving humanity, as Mother Teresa said, is the best work of life. But I want to add something to that. It's also the hardest work.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
It is really blissful. I can tell you, I run this journey like, I can't explain, but I can only feel it. And sometimes I wonder how I get the strength. But
question, and then we see that one child or parent and that smile, and it just that's enough. That gets us through.
And especially if you are compassionate, kind, and caring, you always have a problem with the finance division. They'll tell you, how can you do it? We have 20 centers, and I'm saying, if you alleviate the hardship of this person to relieve that pressure and burden, there are blessings unseen. So do that, and don't worry. And this has been my story for 20 years now, and it has kept multiplying. I mean, just to give an example, just I can give you hundreds, but we have been affected by the floods right now. And I took a guy, immediately they get through to me, and there were 600 families in real trouble and were displaced, and they didn't have any food to eat or anything like that. So I took upon myself, without any donors, to see whether I can support 600 families. And each pack only costs $10, immediate need, $10, right? So I said, yeah, we'll commit to this 600 families, right? And by evening, I had someone from Australia sending me $5,000. So that's how things work. When your intentions are pure, without any ulterior motives or agendas or whatever, and you do it unconditionally. So, yeah, but if you start talking, we can go on for hours.
Yeah, we definitely will do, won't we?
I'm really sorry to keep you, engaged like this.
It's a passion of mine just to listen.
Truly grateful to Sarah Botham, and who's done so much work with us, and she continues to engage. She has seen this, given birth, grow and flourish, and thank you, Jude, and the Soha retreats for coming here, and coming in.
Yes.
And I'm sure we can, all get together and do something more good. I mean, people help in different ways. It's just not the funding alone. I mean, the resources, the volunteering, spread of the,
marketing.
Yeah, there's so many ways in which you can actually help, and volunteering is also priceless. So thanks very much indeed. Many blessings, and thank you for being here. Yeah, great chat. Thank you.